coming through. There we go. Let's see what's going on. Why am I so quiet there? Interesting. Check, 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 check. All right, how's that? Okay, that feels better. Okay. Ooh, let's scoot that down. All right. Cool, we're gonna start it here. Let's first kind of look at where we're at. Gonna go over a couple things. All right, so today I'm gonna be working on building up kind of the structure state machine for the enemy AI. I have something really basic in place right now, which essentially you can watch inside the output in the bottom. Essentially what's going to go on is when it comes to the enemy's turn, you can see enemy moving, because right now it's checking to see if straight line distance between the enemy and the player is within their range. If it is, it's going to state enemy attacking. Essentially, it goes into the attack state, but the attack state right now is nothing. I do need to change that to be a little bit better. Right now, it's limited to straight line distance. It really needs to be within attack range. So there, it's at enemy attacking. Because the range is not equal to straight line distance. That's okay. So really what that means here is, and I'm going to check this. My mic still seems quiet. Check, check. That might be a little bit better. Okay. All right. Let me center this camera up a little bit. There we go. That's a little bit better. All right. So let's do this. Okay, so the big thing I want to do today then is start fleshing out kind of what that means for the enemy here to be able to attack me. Right now, it's just, like I said, kind of a straight line distance. I don't want it to be just be a straight line distance. I can show you what that looks like. So right now, it's just the length, right? The length is just going to be the distance from enemy's current position to the target position. And if it's less than their attack range, I go into attack mode. But I'm going to set up kind of a really simple AI first, and then I'll probably start creating multiple AI types. That way every enemy can have their own kind of personality, because you might have more aggressive enemies, you might have less aggressive enemies, and so all of that to go into it. So right now what I want to do is I will probably create a new function. Right now I have choose target. I will probably have a new function that is select attack, right? And then I want to break this out into functions that way, and it's going to return a Boolean value. I want to break it out into functions that way it's easy to go edit. So let's take a look. So basically this is going to be if select attack, do that. And what this is going to look like, this for now, but I'm going to fix that. So ultimately this needs to go out to my navigation window. Let me find that function. I think it's in, so I'd probably do A star. Okay, so yes, I need my navigation.A star. Yeah, this is gonna be pretty good. It's decent. One interesting thing is this won't account for collision, but I don't have projectiles programmed in yet anyway, so I'm gonna fix later. Checking volume here. Is that a little better? Check, 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 check. I feel like my gate wasn't picking me up. That's okay. All right, let's see here then. Okay, return A star. The start is going to be current enemy dot position divided by world dot grid map. Okay, and it's going to be floor. Let me think real quick. If I'm on position, I'm gonna have to multiply by the grid map, right? No, divide. For example, if I'm on 2, 1, 0, I would want the floor of this. Okay. And if I would be on, let's see, so if I'm on 6, I think that works. I think that works. I think everything might be odd instead of even, which makes it a little bit challenging. That's okay. Okay, and then goal is going to be, let's see, actually, let's do this. We'll say our current grid equals current grid. We'll say var target grid equals same thing except enemy target. Yeah, equals enemy target dot position divided by world dot grid map. Okay. Oh, grid. Okay, so grid. Oh, interesting. Okay, let me get the attack. There should be identify attack cells, yeah. Okay. Let me go to active enemy. I need to add this function. And I would say okay. Let's see real quick. So this is going to be attack cells, level distance. I'm just going to put 1 for now. Hey Ace, how's it going? Good to see ya. We're working on enemy AI. So we're kind of creating, working attacking first. Essentially, if the enemy's within range, it'll attack you. So it's an exciting time, pretty close to having something that's playable. It won't be fun yet, but it'll at least be playable. But hey, welcome. Glad to see you. Hasn't been too bad so far. I'm not too concerned with it at the moment, in terms of how hard this is going to be. But we'll see. We will see. Good deal. Are you writing code or are you writing the story still? You're doing the, is it the horror? It was kind of like a Resident Evil type game, right? Is that right? It's been a bit. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's been good to see some quick progress here. Dot attack range. And height. That's awesome though. Yeah, of course. Well, cool. Yeah, that's exciting. I'm excited to see it. Hopefully it comes along pretty well. Definitely exciting to see story progress made. That's one thing I haven't, kind of have a general concept here. Have not done much in terms of story yet. All right, let's add, attack cells. And let's see. All right, interesting. Okay, so that's player position here. I can probably just do this. Okay, so player node. I hear ya. Yeah, I hear ya. Definitely take some focus. Interesting. Okay, so this I need to do. I gotcha. No, I hear ya. Well, I appreciate you stopping by anyway. And yeah, conserve the data positively. I'll show you where we're at real quick. Yeah, appreciate it. As soon as I get this, this is pretty close to a point where I can run it. Once I get these, all these variables cleaned up, I'll kind of show you where we're at. I am in a really exciting spot, I think. I think I'm really getting close to being able to have something playable. And then it's just going to be adding content for a while. I'm not going to add a ton of content because I'm going to focus on getting something that's playable first. And then once I have something that's playable, I'll focus on cleaning up the graphics. And then once I focus on cleaning up the graphics, I'll start working on adding some content and getting a demo. So ultimately, pretty excited. Sounds good. Hopefully it's not, it should be just a few minutes here. And then I'll show you where we're at. It's gonna look very similar, except honestly, a lot of work went into getting where it's at, even though it's gonna look exactly the same. The big thing is I restructured a lot of the code to be state machine driven. So the code's a lot simpler now, but honestly, you probably won't notice much of a difference in actual gameplay. The one thing it does is it's probably a little cleaner. It's definitely a lot less error prone. I can kind of, oh, look at that. It's because I added a bunch of stuff. Let's just pass for now. I'll just return true for now. So yeah, ultimately it just makes it a lot easier to code in. I had kind of those, I don't know if you remember last time I had those big kind of blocks of code that we were working on kind of debugging. So we got that done. Ultimately I have something that kind of resembles a game now. The enemy right now doesn't do anything, it just kind of hangs out. I also probably will make it where if I hit confirm early, right now he finishes the animation, I'll probably have him teleport to the end if you hit confirm, just because like if you're trying to play a game like this, you don't want a lot of downtime. But ultimately everything's pretty smooth. And then I've got these massive attacks right now just for debugging purposes. But yeah, so it's somewhat playable now. I mean, it's at 1, look at that. So yeah. Looking fun though. I think it's coming along. I'm pretty happy with the code base. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but essentially I broke up from all that I had before down to some state machines. No, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. I worked with a bunch of people at my last job that they would go to cafes and work, and honestly, it's productive. Hey, whatever gets you productive. And I've got glasses as well, so I wear contacts most of the time, but no problem. But yeah, I'm excited about it. I think it's coming along. I really want to try to work on graphics a little bit, because I think as I'm kind of developing some of the like mechanics and structure, and like it feels good, it looks pretty good, right? but it would look a whole lot better and be a whole lot more fun, I think, if, you know, it looked a little better. So I'll probably work on getting some grass textures. Like I could do this with some really simple textures, some grass textures, some rock and brick textures for walls. I really think pretty quickly I could have something that's kind of clean. So pretty excited about it, but definitely some work here. Let's see, greater than, so this would be like greater than, actually what I could make this a lot simpler, I think. I feel like you lose those skills fast if you don't keep up with them. So it's definitely a learning curve, and I feel like once you kind of set it down for a while, you gotta pick it back up. It is something I want to do and need to go do. I think most of the textures I'll actually be able to find online, like grass and stuff. There's several websites that just sell textures, right? And I can probably find them pretty cheap. I think the big thing I'm gonna need to model for are the characters, right? Especially if I want to fit into a style. And I haven't figured out yet if I want to do like a stylistic type thing or more of like a realistic type thing. But okay, yeah, get out of here before your your data expires. But thanks for popping in. Good talking to you. Always good to see you, and good luck on your game and your progress there. Keep me updated. I'm excited about it. I think what I want to do here, I need to update this to essentially say, yeah, don't do this. I don't want to highlight anything. I think this looks pretty good. I do like what this looks like. I think I need to, instead of this, I need to return attack cells. And I should say here, for the attack cells, this should be identify attack cells. Well, actually, you know what? Once I have attack cells, I could say if target grid in actually probably better if identify attack cells current enemy dot has target grid. I'm just gonna for now print captured target grid. Okay. And then, well, I guess I could return true. Okay. And then I'll say else. Return false. And I'll do this. Target grid dash current enemy. So basically I'm just trying to print out and say, hey, yeah, this is what I'm doing here. Interesting. Expected statement, but you found else instead? Oh, I see. I see. Okay. I'm just gonna get rid of this for now. Maybe not. Okay. Here's the problem. It's just gonna grab the last one. And maybe that's okay. I don't think it'll transition twice. Actually, it will transition twice. Because it's gonna finish the for loop. I guess here I could say break. I mean, I'm gonna have to remove this, but Say remove before test. That's fine. That should work. And then if it runs into one, okay, let's check. Let's check what's going on. Okay. Did not like this. World.gridmap size. I see. I might need I might need to divide them first and then floor it. Kind of thinking I'm gonna end up with a decimal. Yeah, I should do this. Yep, and there's actually a candidate for updating my other function as well. I should have really identified that. Identify attack node everywhere. All right, let's see what I got. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make it if I hit confirm. Okay. So it tried calculating. It didn't find me, so it said, hey, move. But it's only gonna do it for the first one, so in the allies list. Okay. Let's get close now. Now everybody should be within their range. But I'm just getting enemy moving, which is okay. Let's see. So yeah, I mean, he should have the same range as him. And you can see clearly they're attacking. So what I should do here is print some of this stuff. Let me think real quick. Okay, identify attack cells, which should return attack cells at the end. Okay, let's print attack cells as well. Print attack cells. And then here I'm going to print here I will okay, I have to do it here. I'll just print enemy target dot, I guess what I can do is just print here, target grid. Trying to see here where things are, how close I am to getting this right, so I can make updates if I need to. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Okay, so let's go ahead and move. Yeah, I think I'm gonna set that once I hit confirm. I need to do that here. Interesting. Okay, let's see. That should be enough data. What do I got? Okay, 7, -1, 1. Okay. Everything's 0. Okay, 7, -1, 1. Was that within the range? Trying to think here, who was that 7, -1, 1? Okay, so maybe not. I was close with 7, -1, -1. But not quite at 7, -1, 1. Okay, let me run a little further. I think I'm close here. All right. So let's see. Okay. These should be within range now. Okay, let's check what happened. All right, we got 4, 0, 1, 6, 0, -2. There's 6, 0, 1, 6, 0, 0, 6, 0, -3. I don't see 6, 0, -2. Why would 6? Okay, let's try 401. 40 negative 1. 40 negative 5. 40 negative 6. Okay. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe they aren't quite there. Okay, what about over here? 400? 400. So yes, it should have been there. Okay, so here's what's going on. This. Okay, one moment. Okay. All right. So here is what's going on. Okay. When you're in Godot and you are comparing coordinates, there are two 3D coordinate systems. There's a vector 3 and a vector 3i. I always fall for this, and I kind of have to use both because the grid system in Godot uses vector 3i, but the position on character bodies uses vector 3. So I fell into this trap again, and I'm comparing a vector 3i with a vector 3. The way to fix this is in this target grid, which is a vector 3, I have to say vector 3i. And then do .x, target grid, .y, and target grid.z. Okay, now what should happen? And now it should return true, and I should get this message as soon as I'm actually in range. Let's see what happens. Done. Captured. It worked. Well, interestingly, it is attacking an enemy or an ally. So that's not quite okay. Current enemy. Okay, I see. So that was close and that worked. This should just be target, enemy target. Okay, so that should work, and then it does take me into attack enemy. So perfect, that works well. I don't need, so let me see, let's just, all I need really is, yeah, identify attack cells, and so that says, yep, you're within my attack cells, you're within my range, so you're good to go. Transition. So now what I need to do is basically the same thing, but after the for loop, I can transition to move. So basically it's going to say, hey, loop through everybody. If anybody's in your range, do this. What I probably need to do is have, within there, I need to create a dictionary of all the allies and kind of assign a priority score for them. So I think that's the next step here. Let's check. Okay. So ultimately, I have allies up here. I should have variable attack priority dictionary. All right. And then so I would say for characters, and I would say attack priority allies, or character, sorry. Character equals attack priority character equals And I need to figure out like a priority system. So we'll do like a function that is provide priority, or let's see, provide attack priority. Maybe we'll just do attack priority. Oh, I can't do just attack priority. Get attack priority. Perfect. Okay, then I'll have a function down here that is get attack priority. And right now I'll do it just based on return character dot current health. Cool. Don't think I need enemy target there, honestly. Enemy target. And then I think this I can actually get rid of. Character. Cool. I feel pretty good about that. So ultimately then I will get all of them, all the priorities here. And what I should do here, let's see, attack priority equals get attack. So then I'll have all of my attack priorities. And I would say, and then I'll say else attack priority character equals 0. And then what I'll say is, let's see, let me go to dictionaries here. I think what I can say is, like, I can probably arrange it, like sort it. And then after I sort it, I bet I could do some sort of match. So I could get all the values. Can't sort it, actually. Get. I could grab an array of all the values and sort that if I wanted. That's probably not useful. I'm surprised there's no sort function on dictionaries. Well, I guess it's sorting by the key. All right. I could do a quick sort function here. Ultimately, I will walk through all the values. I'll walk through all the keys, actually. And I will select whichever value is highest. So for keys in attack priority dot keys. Yep, dot keys. And I'll say attack priority key. This should be key. Attack priority key. If attack priority key is greater than, let's see, so we'll have variable current priority. If attack priority key is greater than, let's see, greater than current priority, then we would say current priority equals attack priority dot key. We'll say, so variable current priority equals 0. Our current target equals, let's see, just current target node. Okay. So then we would say current priority equals that, which should be the value. And then we would say current target equals key. And then that would cut out all the zeros, which is good. So then we could say if current priority is greater than 0, transition to attack, else transition to move, and then I'll print key. That should get me there. That should at least print out. Oh yeah, current target. We'll do this. Let me get rid of these other prints. Okay. That should select. Wait, am I actually defining a priority there? Get attack priority. Okay, I never finished. Okay, current health. So it's going to attack the target with the highest health. That's fine for now. Let's check what happens. Okay, they have 50 health. Okay, current target Arya, because Arya is within range. And then he should be in range now, right? Yeah. So next, yeah, he attacks him, which is great. I think that works pretty well. Fantastic. So now it's just grabbing whoever has the highest health. And I'm breaking it up like this. Let's see. So I'm breaking it up like this specifically for modularity. I want to be able to modify this code quickly. So when I have a function that's get attack priority, it allows me to modify that. I can come into this active enemy scene or this active enemy state and just come modify this one parameter as I'm trying to balance the game. So as I'm trying to balance, hey, I want you to select a different character, right? Maybe the AI is not really targeting the right person. I can come in here and I can tweak this one function. So I want to break this down into functions like that. That's my goal here. So as opposed to, breaking it down into as small of chunks as possible, trying to break it down into manageable chunks that when I want to modify something, I know what to modify, if that makes sense. Okay. So very good. So my next rule here is now that I'm selecting them, instead of this, whenever I go to I do need to transmit my current enemy. So that should probably be a signal, and it's going to be selected target. So basically here, I'll have selected target dot emit, and I'm going to send over the current target. And what I need to do, selected target. Then what I need to do is I need to select or connect that node to my enemy attack. Okay, which is here, which is good. So now it should be getting that. And then what I need to do is in here, I need to have a variable that is current target. And then here I'll say So we'll say like selected target, and here we'll just have current target equals selected target. So every time I select a new target, it should send it to this state, this attack enemy state, which will be very helpful. And then ultimately here I need an attack, attack character function, which is here. And I can move this over to attack enemy. My attack select, I'm guessing that I'm passing a world. I could probably do the same thing. At export variable world node, and then I can assign a couple things here. So I can assign the world, and I can assign priority control. Where is the priority list? I'm not sure I'm really using that, but it's probably important. Okay. So, the way this should work, I get some weird things going on when I enter, but I should do it when I'm in the state. So when I'm in the state, let's go ahead and post this function in here. When I'm in the state, don't wait, I should attack character. Oh yeah, I definitely need my current player, which I think is from here. Advanced priority. Where does he get? Right here. On advanced priority, active player. Okay. So yeah, within advanced priority, is there an active player node here? Yes. Where's that at? Oh, I see it. Okay. So that should go to active. Shoot. Already there. Did I get an error for that? Okay, that's fine. Did it connect it again? No. Okay, that's good. Connect to attack enemy. I should also connect to move enemy. Okay. Then on attack enemy, okay. And then I need a variable current enemy. Okay. So what I do here then is attack character. My active player is my current enemy. My target selector is current target. And that should attack. And what I should do here, I should say if attack character, and I can transition to advanced priority. That should work. So I would expect me to get attacked and die now. Oh, interesting. So I am going to attack enemy here. It is not like it, obviously. Okay. So let's see. What's going on here? First off, let me turn off this monstrosity of a grid down here. Right here. All right. So I am going into attack enemy. And I'm guessing what's happening. Let's see. I am going to advanced priority afterwards. I shouldn't be. Well, I mean, I guess I can. It's fine. So that means that's true. I'm going into advanced priority, which is good. And it should attack character. Should pass the active player. I should attack my target player. Let's look at the attack node to see what's in there. What do I have in attack select? How am I doing this? Basically the same thing. Oh, I transitioned to a confirm attack. Okay. On confirm, I emit confirm. But I'm not using that. Okay, I probably am using it, maybe, within my player. Let's see. Let's see. Do I use it here? Yes. Okay, so that's in my confirm attack. So when I confirm attack, I do this. Okay. I also need the attack function, right? I guess not. I could just pass it and then let's see. Do I actually? Yeah, I could confirm it immediately, I think. So I think I could just say, hey, afterwards, confirm attack. Let's do that. Let's try it and see what happens. So attack enemy. If attack character, then I would also say this dot confirm attack current enemy active player, no, current enemy, yes. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Should automatically confirm the attack after it's done the attack. That should be pretty quick though. Here we go, moment of truth. Oh, not yet. Moment of truth. Oh, I did not like that. What didn't it like? Okay. Interesting. Oh, very interesting. It's because I'm not emitting something. It says target player. On attack select, target player selected. Okay. Not bad here. I just need to... I think I'm already emitting some stuff, some signals. I just need to capture those signals. So selected target. What I could do here is say current enemy, comma, current target. This is the much more elegant way to do this. Go to method. Ready player. Current enemy equals ready player. All right, let's go back. Let's see, so that was a function. Oh, that was on advanced priority. So I think I can get rid of this. And instead, yeah, pass it through, which makes sense. So then on attack enemy, I can check on like attack select. So I need to really just switch it to, I should probably push it to both of these, camera and my target info. Okay. And then so I'd have a signal, enemy, attack. Oh, you know what? No, why would I do it here? I would do it under my active enemy phase, selected target. This should go to my UI, my target info UI. Okay, and then it should also go to the camera. I think this is a much more elegant way to do this. And so, oh man, I already did it. Well, man, that's such a better way to do this. Okay, I mean, I could do like this. And then it's there. Okay, I think that does it. And then target info. Okay. Let me go see. I may have gotten this flipped. I probably got them flipped. Let's see here. Active enemy. Current enemy, current target. Okay. And then what do I have in active player? Because I do something similar. Or maybe it's attack select. Target player, active player. So I do flip them. Let's just go ahead and flip them back. So current target, current enemy, and I'm gonna call it active enemy. Current enemy, replace for active enemy. Okay. Good deal. So now I'm transmitting the signal. It's current target, active enemy. So then my attack. Here I'm doing current target, active enemy. If I go to my target window, current target, active enemy. Really, I should just, I'm just gonna link it to that same function, make this easy. Active enemy, disconnect, connect, target info, pick, connect. Yeah, target active. Same with my camera. Disconnect. Camera pick. On active player. Let me see what the camera's functions look like. Should be on active attack select, target player selected. Okay, that's fine. On attack, select target player. Camera. I wonder why. Okay, that's the one I want. Maybe I just had to save. All right, let's see what happens here. Now I should be passing all the right signals. They should all be wired up correctly so that it attacks at the right time. Oh, interesting. Did I confirm? I guess I did. Okay. There you go, moment of truth. Oh! Okay, so I just created a machine gun that absolutely just obliterates everybody as soon as the game starts. I love it. Okay, so what's happening is I'm just bouncing into the enemy state without ever going back to advanced priority. It thinks it's going back to advanced priority, but I'm not clearing the person from the priority window. So then you have players with endless actions and endless death. Okay, well, that was fun. Okay, next thing here. All right, let's see. So ultimately, when I'm in an active enemy or attack enemy, sorry. After I attack, I should advance priority. However, I need to first transmit a signal that says attack complete. And we'll say attack complete dot emit. And we'll have a variable that's just attacked. And we'll say during enter, I'll say attacked equals false. Attacked equals true. And not attacked. It might still attack twice. I'm very curious how this is gonna work. I actually don't know if I need to enter the state first. For this one, the right way to go may be when I enter to do this. Like this. Then it does it once, which is nice. Okay. I don't need this anymore. And then else I'm going to actually print error. I guess I'll push to error. Error. Attack selected, not used by enemy. All right, let's see. So that's good. And so then I should attack once, and I have this attack complete signal that I'm pushing here. Let's send that here. Sending attack complete to the priority list. I need a new function here. So one thing I'm doing right now is I have like this weight cost. I should have attack cost here as well. I should do all of my priority changes within this area. So I probably want a function here that instead of this, I would say just in general attack complete. I probably broke it. I can fix that. Edit. Well, I guess let's save it real quick. Edit, pick, attack complete, and then I want to connect all of them to this. And then attack complete, what I would do is I'd say ready player 0 dot priority minus equals attack cost. Yeah. I think that's all I need to do here. And then I can say this. I don't think I need to do this multiple times. I could just say on active player. I guess I could say I should change this. Yeah, I need more descriptive function names, but for now I'll use this. So run that and then run that. And for now, I'll make attack cost 100. We'll see what happens there. So now if you attack, your turn should end. So now I shouldn't have machine guns coming at me. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so I did go into attack enemy, but I didn't attack. Let's see if I pushed an error. Attack selected, not used by enemy. Interesting. So I went into attack mode, but I couldn't successfully attack. That's very, very interesting. It's because I didn't have an active player and a target player. Okay. I was a little bit worried about this. Okay. I'll put this first. Okay. We'll see if that fixes it. I'm a little bit nervous that I still end up attacking multiple times. It should be fast. It should be same frame. I'm not positive. We'll find out here pretty quickly if I attack more than once. Okay, it should attack Kale because he has the highest. Yes. Well, I don't know if one of them attacked. Oh, interesting. Why was attack grayed out? Huh, that was interesting. Let's see what happens here. Okay, I think they both just attacked once. So, yeah, his attack is grayed out too. Okay, well, I mean, that's interesting at least. Okay, let's see. So it needs to slow down, ultimately. I need to wait to go into... I need to wait to leave that, essentially. Well, you know what? The easy way to do this is on exit, force a wait. I guess I probably need to. Interesting, interesting. I guess I could attack once and then sit and attack enemy. So this should go back to active enemy. But I don't think active enemy has any reason to switch. Does active player have like some sort of thing? Yes. Okay. So this should absolutely be in active enemy. And that should be from priority list. Okay, and it's clear player. So clear player should go into active enemy. I thought I just added this. I mean, I guess it is on priority list clear player. That's fine. Okay, yeah, it's right there. Okay, so. Oh, that's the wrong. Okay, let's check active enemy out. Okay, this is active enemy. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. So that's good. Should get cleared. I think what I can say here. Hey Journey, how's it going? Hope all is well and hope you had a good weekend. I think what I can say here is essentially if my character's priority is greater than I don't want to, that's a little too complicated. For now, let's just keep this simple. I just want to make sure I have a way to clear the player. So that means when I attack, I need to transition to the right place here. Doing pretty well. Yeah, doing great. So this wouldn't transition to confirm attack. I'm currently working on AI. So it's a little complicated here. Trying to make sure I'm just getting a super basic AI for the enemy right now, but I'm trying to set up something that would be easy to modify as I'm kind of going around. So right now, essentially the enemy looks at whoever has the most HP and attacks them and doesn't move. I'm trying to get something basic set up, and I have a few known bugs, but so far it's looking pretty decent. So let's see. So the AI took him out. Obviously it didn't show it, but I probably need to slow that down. So there you go. Okay, I took him out. And yeah, so kind of just working through that. A lot going on, obviously. There we go. So a lot going on, obviously, here. A lot of bugs. It's interesting. There are a couple things I don't want to do, right? I don't want to just put just a raw wait for X amount of time in here. That would be super easy to do. It would work. And maybe it works as like a stopgap for now, which is basically just putting a wait timer on the exit here. So on attack enemy, when I attack, it waits like 5 seconds. Though what I don't like about this is it's not responsive. I think artificial waits in a game like this are going to add up. And so I want as little waiting as possible where you can manage. So I want to be able to skip those. And if you have just a wait like this, you can't. So I would rather do it with signals. So essentially, hey, after your attack is done, switch. Oh, cool. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, make some signals and kind of mess around live. And if you have questions, feel free to reach out. Happy to help you out if you're running into any issues as well. I hope it's useful. Trying to talk through everything as we're doing this too. All right, so ultimately now when I click this, the enemy should go. Oh, well, the enemy should go. I do see his attack, which is good, but so you can see there, he got attacked twice. So I think the reason that I'm getting attacked twice, let me see, make sure. Yeah, so I think it's just that 2 people went. So you can kind of see this is my priority list. And I think he just got attacked twice because 2 people went and they both attacked. So it transitioned players. And you can kind of see what's going on here. I think when it's exiting, it's not going to wait for this to be done before it goes to the next one. This is kind of a cleanup phase, but it's not really a good way to wait. I could put a wait between transitions. Ultimately, when I'm in an active enemy state, so I don't want to choosing targets a bunch of times. Very interesting. I do need a good way for it to wait to transition until it's ready. Right now it's very fast, which is good, but I ultimately want it to not be so fast. Honestly, a wait between transitions probably wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Let's see. So current state dot exit. So you can see I used to have an await timer here. I might put like a 5 seconds is probably way too long. I'll put that there for now just to see if that works. I think the biggest issue is that that's going to really slow down gameplay, and you'll see it right when I'm playing through here. Oh yeah, look at that. Because now there's 5 seconds anytime I try to do anything. That obviously doesn't work. I've just changed states way too many times to have anything like that. But you can see here, when it runs through, it's going to exit, and it's going to enter the new state. There's nothing in there telling it to wait before it enters this new state. So the way code runs, when you write it, you think like, hey, if I run over to this new thing, it's going to execute here, then it's going to execute here, and then it's going to go to this other thing, and wait for it to run, and then it's going to run the next line. That's not how code works here. It runs everything in a frame that it sees. And so it runs it multi-threaded. So as this is running over and over again. It might also be running this and might also be running this function, but they're all at the same time. So it's not like if I put a wait within this function, it's not going to run this until this one's done. It's just going to keep running over and over again. And it makes timing a little bit challenging, which is why you really use states. So I should sit in a state until I'm done with that state. There are probably areas in here where I should like check if I'm in the current state. pretty much all of my functions. I should check if I'm in the current state, and that'll limit me from being able to mess too much up in terms of timing, because it really will just kind of walk state to state. No code paths, return a viable, not all code paths, so then else, return false. That's fine. Yeah, something like that probably works. I should do transitions mostly on returns, not on code execution. And I think that's where I'm messing up. So like here, I'm transitioning to active enemy as soon as I attack. But, and maybe that's okay. No, I think I need to stay here until I get a return back that the attack is complete. Exactly. No, the hierarchy of the code does not necessarily matter. So one interesting thing, yeah, I'll kind of talk through timing real quick because it's a really interesting thing. When you call a function like this update function, this gets run every single frame. And so one really interesting thing is that if this takes longer than a frame to run, it's going to run this multiple times. So if this takes, if a frame is 1 every, or like 60 every second or whatever it is, right? And this takes longer than that to execute, I could attack multiple times. And that's why I think you have to be really careful with your if statements, your conditions, when you're running things. So this gets called at the top in the state machine. So the state machine actually calls this function. It calls it for all the states. So essentially every frame that's getting run. And I've run into this a lot of times, right? Where you kind of end up where code is racing each other, right? You've got one code executing. Simultaneously, you have possibly the same code executing, and it doubles up. So you have to be really careful about the conditions. And I use flags a lot. I don't really like flags for a lot of things. I'll probably use it for this for now. I'll use like a flag called attacked, right? Which is just a Boolean value, just a true false value. When I enter the phase or enter the state, I'll say like attacked equals false. And then I will say, hey, if I do that, right? And I guess I would add it here probably. I'd say like if attacked is false, right? Then do this. Otherwise, do nothing. So what this allows me to do is if I do get into that race condition, it won't trigger because as soon as I attack once, I can say, I guess as soon as I trigger this once, I can say attacked equals true. Now it'll only ever run once in the entire code. I spelled that wrong. So super helpful for this kind of thing. I don't know that flags are a great coding practice, but it works really well for this. I don't think there's really a problem with it. This allows you just kind of to run the code once. It's just logic. So now I know for a fact every time that within this state, I'll only run this set of code once, which is good. And then it'll do nothing. That's probably the best way to do this. The other way to do it would be, maybe even a better way, is to put this in the exit. The problem is if I want to sit in this state. So what I probably would do is have another state that's like attacking. And when I exit this state, it attacks it once because exit only occurs once per state. You can see that up in the state machine. It's going to initiate the exit function once, the enter function once. That's kind of in this transition stage, but it's going to run this every single frame. It gets really complicated, but ultimately I think the thing to remember is if you have kind of two types of functions, synchronous functions and asynchronous functions. Asynchronous functions aren't called every frame, and you can kind of convince yourself as long as you're triggering them correctly that they're going to run once. Synchronous functions happen every frame, and you have to be really careful about how many you want. Usually I would try to save my synchronous functions for like checks, things that should happen when states or conditions are met, and asynchronous functions for when something should happen once. But it is hard when you're building a state machine for a game. So, and the hierarchy of the code doesn't really matter. There are certain cases when they do like inputs, for example, they'll kind of propagate up the tree and you can stop them. But for the most part, all the code that you see here, everything is happening simultaneously, all at the same time. And you've got to control that too, right? Because you don't want all of it happening at the same time. And that's where things like a state machine help, because it limits how much code you're running to one state worth of code. So, but yeah, like if you look at a character, for example, this process here, it's kind of a lot of code. Let me highlight it. It's not really too bad. It has been cleaned up, but this is running every single frame. And so if you got to the point where I had 100 characters, I would have 100 synchronous things of this running every single time, and you could really drag down your CPU for the computations needed to run that code. Depending on how complicated your game is, it could be a problem, could also not. Ultimately here, I think I'm going to do that, just kind of run with this flag, and I think that's okay. I am going to move this transitioned to its own function, which is going to be function attack completed. And then within my attack animation here, I have this signal, and I need to connect that to my other signal, or to my other function here. Yeah, so state machines are extremely useful in all types of programming, whether it's a game or it's whatever you're doing, right? Ultimately, it's more of an organizational thing. So if you think about it like this, maybe I might go PowerPoint for this. But ultimately, like, so let's say you have like robots, right? That might be bright. Yeah, that's really bright. That's okay. So like, let's say you have like a robot, right? And this robot, you want him to do some certain things. What a state machine does, you might have like first you want the robot to like set itself up, right? So this is the first state. And within setup, you've got multiple functions, right? Like within setup, you can say function 1 is like turn on, right? Open eyes, right? Whatever it is. Then you have all of those functions here. You'd say like, okay, after you finish your setup, then I want you to be idle. Don't do anything, right? And so within idle, your functions are like do nothing. And then from idle, you might branch out and you might have like a function over here for attacking, right? Attacking. You might have a function over here for moving. You might have a function over here, like a state over here for looking for a target or something. And this is probably like this. The big thing is they are like disjoint, right? You wouldn't be moving and looking for a target at the same time. What this allows you to do, if you set this up to say, hey, this is the only time this happens, right? And you can probably see the use here, is that I can actually set conditions for when I enter each of these things, right? And they probably all go back to idle after they're done. And it allows me to be really particular with when things happen. So if you think about, we just talked about like code all happens synchronously, right, at the same time. That can obviously become a mess if your code is just full of a bunch of if statements that you say like, hey, if you want to move, right, everywhere. It becomes an absolute wreck. So instead, if you say, hey, only move when you're in a moving state, only look for a target when you're in a look for target state, and only attack if you're in an attacking state, then if the conditions are met for your attack, but you're in a moving state, you're not going to attack. So it lets you have multiple disjoint states and your functions within those states, and allows you to kind of select when you're going to do stuff. So it's definitely not limited just to games. Every coding project probably ever would benefit from state machines. If you think like a vending machine, right? vending machine code is all a state machine, and you can't do certain things until you're in a certain state. Like if you just typed in buttons, right, you wouldn't get anywhere. You got to put your credit card in first, and that triggers you to go into like a vend state, and then you put the code in, it dispenses it, and then it goes back to an idle state. Same thing. So this is a little more complicated. So each of these are states, and it's really good. What I've kind of done here is set up a resource, like a class, that is state machine, and I can use it. This is the top level code. It's super simple. All it does is it executes the update function of each state, and then it provides a way to transition between those states. And then in each of these states, they're all a custom state class I made. So I created a custom class that is called control state, which basically looks like this. And then within each of these, I kind of define what can be done. So like this one, for example, all this does is advances until a player is ready. So it just kind of controls a tick until a player is ready. It essentially has their initiative and their priority at 100%. And then it either takes me to either active player or active enemy, whether it's a player or an enemy. And then from there, it branches off, and I can do move, attack, different things. So more of an organizational thing, but there's a lot of logic behind it, and being able to control that's super important. So I think if you mastered state machines, even like simple ones, it would really take you a long way. Maybe even a better example is the animation tree on these things. So if you look at the animation tree, all this is a state machine. So these are when people can do these certain things. It's just a state machine specifically at the animation level. So anyway, hopefully that helped and wasn't too out there. Not trying to scare you here. I know it's kind of a lot, but I think once you kind of start programming, if you Googled like a state machine tutorial, you could probably find an example as well that's better than how I explained it. Good, I'm glad. I'm glad it makes sense. I'm glad I explained it somewhat decently. I was a little worried there for a second. All right, so yeah, ultimately here I want to get my attack completed here. If I go to confirm attack, I think I'm looking at the same thing here. Ultimately, I need to, within this attack node, so I need to link a signal from, actually, other way around. I need to link signal from here to this other function. Let's see how that works. Good, I'm glad. Yeah, it sounds scary for sure, but I'm glad you understand. Ultimately, is that how that works? So I have confirm, which is my signal, linking to there. I need to ultimately link all of my functions within my character. I need to link all of the signals to this node. So I need it the other way around. Let me see where I have attack complete link to. It's probably in target info. No, not there. Ultimately, what I'm doing now is signals are really important here. And the ability to link. Let's see, this is probably it. Yeah, okay. This is the code I need. I need to dynamically link all of the character signals. Again, I'm trying to make it so you can swap these characters out modularly. So I need to link all of these character signals to this state. So this attack completed state. So what I'll do is on ready, this runs once when you load the scene, actually. So when you first hit this play button, this will run exactly one time. And so what I'll do is I'll connect on attacked target. I guess I'll use that same name. That's fine. Because it's the same function. On attacked target to this to, is it attacked target that I want to go to? Actually, It might be attack complete. It is attack complete. And I do that after I confirm. Yeah. So ultimately I'll link attack complete to, I guess I'll say on attack complete for consistency. Sorry, excuse me. Okay. Let's see here then. That should do it. So then I would transition back to active enemy after my attack is complete. I think I actually want to transition back for now. I do want to do that, but I think for now I'm going to transition back to advanced priority. Because I'm going to be waiting so long that I don't think it's going to transition there. Okay, let's give that a shot. I feel like I probably changed too much here and I'm going to run into an error, but we'll find out. Sorry, I dropped my controller. I probably changed too much. I think I've told you that before, where I really don't like to change more than a few lines of code at a time, just because when you start changing multiple lines, it's hard to follow what you changed exactly. Okay, that looks good. Okay, and then wait, and then my next enemy will go. Oh, we missed. All right. That looks pretty good. That timing looked a lot better. I think it's switching a little fast. So I think if the two enemies, we'll see here, the two enemies are going to go one after another. And I'm a little bit worried that when they do, they might both attack the same person. We'll find out here. So that looks pretty good. Nope. That was great. Yeah, that actually looks pretty good. I mean, obviously some cleanup needs to happen here, but yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. I guess maybe just because there's a speed difference. Hey, that looked good. Oh, interesting. Interesting. So, okay, so the last thing that happened there, I don't know if you caught it. One of the enemies tried attacking me after they were dead. Interesting. Why did that happen? I guess, oh, I know why it happened. Okay. It happened because I haven't implemented this kind of directional state yet, which should happen. And I've got my attack priority goes down for my enemy from here, but it's going down from my player from here, which actually I'm hitting the enemy's priority twice, which I shouldn't be doing. That is okay. You know what? Let's do this. No, it's pretty nice. I feel pretty good about it. It was just one weird little thing that I caught. Okay. I want in my priority window, I need to connect to the attack to know when the attack's complete. And this is going to help, I think. So ultimately, on ready, do this. And then on attack complete, I need a new function. Actually, I already have this, which is just called attack complete. Okay, so I'm gonna connect attack to attack complete, and then I right now don't need to call this anymore then. That's good. So then on priority list, oh, this would be from attack enemy. Oh, I'm already transmitting attack complete from there. I can disconnect this now, because now it's within my attack node. That actually might work a lot better So that should make it so that I'm not advancing priority on my character until after the attack's complete. So it'd be the last thing it does is advances priority. Let's check if it works. Okay, that looks pretty good. Yeah, that looked great. Okay, you can see it kind of feels a lot slower, more deliberate, which slower is not great, right? I don't want it to take a long time to have a turn, but I don't want it to be so bad that it just feels chaotic. And then, yeah, the skipping around right there, ultimately the AI doesn't know the game is over, which I can. I mean, it's not challenging to do from here. I just haven't programmed it yet. So it just keeps going and attacking over and over again. So it's just going to keep killing the dead folk over and over again. Yeah, that felt pretty good. And then the other thing I want to do is the same thing except for my move. So right now, that really helps because I can now control how much priority everything takes from here, which makes that really helpful. Next thing I need to do here is do the same thing for my movement. So right now, if I go to my movement script, if you go down here, it's gonna subtract my movement in this way. Instead, I need a signal that is move complete. Am I using this anywhere else? Yeah. I wonder if I'm actually emitting that. Here, I'm gonna check. This right here will break if I'm using it elsewhere, and it should tell me where I'm moving it or where I'm using it. If I'm not using it, then I'm gonna hijack it. Let's see. I am using it, so don't get rid of that. And then you have a move confirmed signal. Signal move confirmed. And then what I'll do is I'll have move confirmed dot emit here instead. Move confirmed dot emit. And then I'll go down to my priority list again. I'll do the same thing. Up here, instead of attack, I'll do the movement node. No, you can use the signal many, many times. The reason I don't want to do it twice is because the problem with that, and I'm going to do this real quick just before I forget, move confirmed, and then I'll have move complete. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I have signals that are used a bunch of times, right? The thing is every time I send that signal, it's going to go to these places. So like, for example, every time I do player ready, it's going to send a signal to the world to say, hey, set the active player to the current player. Here it's going to transition phases. So there are functions that occur when I do this. And actually here I should say if current state, actually. Because I don't want it, well, maybe not. Let's leave it for now. Again, I don't want to change things. I'll probably add a comment to say, should this only be done if in current state? The answer is probably yes. That's okay. So ultimately, it's kind of scary to use a signal more than once, right? If I'm emitting it in multiple places, if it's because you have two paths of your code, it's fine. Like this, right? I am sending this signal to transition to two different states, depending on what code path I take. But ultimately, I'm not going to go transmit this twice. So you need one signal should have one function, if that makes sense. So you don't want one signal kind of doing a bunch of things, even though you might use it more than one place. Does that make sense? So you can use it more than once. You don't want to use it more than once if they're doing two different things. So you'd rather have multiple signals kind of telling different things. Every signal should have exactly one piece of data, I think is the better way to word that. I'm trying to find one where, like here, I send active player to a lot of places because all of those places need the same information, but I'm not going to go use this active player signal to also convey that I selected wait. I'll use a different signal for that. I hope that makes sense. It's getting late, so my explanations are getting worse. Yeah, exactly. Everything should be very specific. And that's one thing with software is you want to be as specific as possible. And ambiguity in software is not good. Everything should be very specific about what is happening. So ultimately what I just did is I connected a new function called move complete, which I haven't created yet, to all of the characters' move confirm signals. And then what I'll have is I'll have a new function down here that is move complete. And I will say this. It'll be the same thing except instead of attack cost, it's going to be movement cost. Movement cost. And then I'll have a place where I can define movement cost, which is up here. At export, variable movement cost, integer, and then I can set that here now. The export, this is a really, really helpful command, which essentially puts whatever you put up here over here so that you can quickly change values. So here I could set, attack to 60, this to 40, this to 30, which would kind of be the normal amount. Or if I'm debugging, I can set this to 100. Where that really helps is while you're doing balancing a game, you can come in here and you can set things quickly and you don't have to go modify your code, right? Once the code works and once you have the bugs, you just go modify the values here without having to go make a bunch of changes. It's the same thing I have down in my classes, right? I can go modify the classes here and I'll be able to modify things like attack values of classes or whatever it is. And when I get to the balancing part of the game, I don't have to go navigate through a bunch of code. I just go modify stuff directly from the window. So really helpful Godot functionality there. I think that's probably pretty common in every object-oriented programming language. But all right, check that out. That actually looked really good. Yeah, it's a super helpful function. Let me see if while dead, if they can attack. They shouldn't, because they should never end up in the priority. Yeah, they did not. That's fantastic. Okay, next thing I want to do real quick is when the game ends. So when the game ends right now, I don't think I'm moving to game over, but I should. So there are signals that exist. And I think all I really have to do, transition dot emit game over. And then transition dot emit victory. I think I'm already getting these signals. Let me check. So this little thing tells you where you're getting the signal from. So character status. So I think that works. And then I think I won't have any. Then I think I'll leave all of my other states. So that seems like the cleanest way to do this. Okay. Can I reach him? No. Okay, miss. Oh, that's a bug too. So you see this? Well, it refreshed it. Maybe that's not a bug. I mean, what was happening there is it was disabling attack. And I thought it was going to be a bug because I thought it was going to disable the attack of my my character I went to and not let me attack. But actually, it worked pretty well. So that's not too bad. You can see now it doesn't. It goes to actually the victim. Well, okay. He just attacked me. Here, I can show you this real quick. I think he's still attacking me. Let me hide these. So it's going through. Okay, never mind. He did. He attacked me and killed me. I don't know why that was. That was interesting, because he should have been dead. And when they're dead, I have in my priority list here, if they're unconscious, it removes them from the queue. So that's interesting, which is this function up here. If they're unconscious, right here, it removes them from the queue. So that probably just has to do with timing of my states. So it shouldn't enter this. I think that's pretty easy. It still needs to go through their initiative order, because will have things happen when they die. Like you'll roll basically, I think, for permadeath. But I think here, this is pretty easy to have, let's see. If current player, is that what it is? Or, active enemy dot unconscious, choose target, and I'll say if not. That's pretty easy. I mean, if I'm unconscious, just don't do that. I think that's fine. That'll prevent that bug. Okay. All right, so we got movement coded up, or not movement, we got attack coded up, which is pretty good. So now I think the next stage would be to start doing movement. There are a couple of bugs. I'm gonna run through it a few times, look for bugs. The way I like to do this is just try to break stuff. Just click a lot, click fast, and just kind of move things around. I may also create where if you hit... Oh, that was interesting. I'm curious. I guess it's not finishing, so it's not clearing my priority. That's a bug, though. But that can be solved pretty easy. I think when I hit confirm, I want it to automatically teleport your person to the final place. And I think that's probably pretty easy to do. So within movement, I have cancel move, which will cancel whenever you clear it. I think the next thing I want to do is if I hit confirm, so I'm going to emit confirm here. Which should come from the confirm button. Let me make sure. So I have a confirm button here. Ooh, actually, I don't know if that is. Let me see where all this is going. So when toggled, that's in self. Interesting. Okay. Confirm attack. Okay. So let me go to confirm attack. And so then I emit confirm to the active player. Okay, that makes sense. So then I basically am going to send this. And then I'm going to send this to the active player's attack function here. I guess movement function. And you can see up here, I link the movement, the confirm signal to the confirm move function, which is this. So I think I also want to say character dot velocity equals vector3 0 0 0. Actually, you know what? I basically want this code. I do want to cancel. I want to set my velocity to vector3 0 0 0. Sorry, I keep saying vector3. I'm just reading here. And then I want to set my character position, not the starting node. I need a new variable called ending node. This is going to be a kind of a quality of life thing, I think. And so then I would have ending node equals movement. So this is a movement nodes is a array that essentially contains the path I want to walk on. So I would do movement nodes dot size -1, because the size is going to turn an integer, kind of like a counting integer that is based on base 1 as the first input. However, when you're referencing an array, it's always at base 0. So I think that gives me ending node. And then what I would do is essentially I would say, instead of starting node, this would be ending node. And I think that's all I have to do. I think it's that simple. Let's find out. There may be some more stuff I'm just missing here. But I think now if I hit confirm, yep, I teleport. The one thing I don't do is I don't go back to wait here. So let's see. Ultimately, there's probably something occurring. Oh, you know what? I'm not submitting move complete. But that's okay. I shouldn't have to, because ultimately I'm just canceling. So basically I cancel and this while statement goes away. Are there breaks? There's returns, okay. So yes, I will want these in here. I don't need world clear, I don't think. Basically, I just want to say, hey, you're done moving. And that should give my focus back to the player command screen. So now when I do this, confirm, yes, that works pretty well. Okay. That should speed things up a little bit. I think if you were like just intuitively, I can probably make it look a little better. But I think intuitively, if you were playing, right, and you tried moving and you hit confirm, you would expect it to teleport. Like if I hit confirm and I was waiting on an animation, it would at least be a little bit annoying. And you can see now he doesn't start attacking. So that worked well. So I probably want it to look a little better, because it's like an instant teleportation and that doesn't look the best. But I do think quality of life, if you were playing and you hit confirm, you'd expect it to teleport. What are your thoughts? And honestly, that doesn't look that bad. Yeah, maybe that's not too bad actually. There's gonna be a series where I definitely need to improve graphics and things. Oh, interesting. I did break something. Okay, so I'm an active enemy right now. Let's see what happened. Interesting. I'm trying to let's look at some of these. Confirm is already connected to a given callable in that object. Yeah, that's exactly the same thing. This was not supposed to be confirm attack. Interesting. That should be. Thanks, appreciate it. That should be attack enemy. Why was that working? Okay, that's probably one of the problems I was having. Interesting. I'm not sure why that would be. So it's not dot confirm. Maybe I don't need this. I don't think I need this. Apparently. Okay, let's try it again. Yeah, and that's gonna help debugging, I think, as well. It's gonna help things go a lot faster. I probably got about 5 more minutes before I'm off. Oh man. Interesting. Well, let's refresh that too. Got some interesting Twitch robots. That's okay. We got rid of them. Easy enough. Sorry if it copies over to YouTube. I need to check out my Restream bot to see if that can I can avoid that in the future. All right, let's see. Yeah, let me check. Actually, I'm not actually sure. Let me pull up. Let's see. I'm gonna pull up YouTube. Did that actually copy over to the chat on YouTube as well? I probably need to check out my Restream bot because it could be very dangerous for Restream bot to be saying ridiculous things. And I don't want that. Let's see here. Yes, it did. You know, I can probably ban him on... Well, I don't want to ban Restream bot, but I guess I probably need to time him out. I'm not as familiar with... Oh, I can remove. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, well, that was fun. Okay. Yeah, I need to probably set Restream bot's admin stuff pretty strict. Hey, Nintendo Master. How's it going? What should I use to actually learn? So there's a pretty good Godot itself. Like they have a really good yeah, I deleted a journey. They have a really good tutorial. So they have like a YouTube channel that is all about just how to learn how to use their system. They have an interest in people learning how to use their system, obviously. They have really good documentation, really good tutorials. I would look up like the making your first game in Godot tutorial. It's pretty good. And it will go through all of the process of creating like your first 2D game. Check that out. It's really a pretty good system, and it goes from everything from like how to code basic stuff through how to take and apply sprites, how to do animation. If you're interested in more in 3D side, try the 3D side. I mean, it's not that much more complicated, and if you want to learn it, right, you're gonna have fun with it, go for it. So I would recommend follow that tutorial first and then just jump into it. I would also recommend just, you know, you could keep watching tutorials and keep doing stuff on YouTube, but the problem with that is if you're not interested in what you're doing, you're never going to actually learn it, right? You're going to get burned out. So I would say jump into making a game, right? Create like a game design document and just talk through like, hey, here's the kind of game I want to make. Here's the story, maybe, whatever you're more interested in. If you're more interested on the mechanics side, like I am, start saying, hey, here's the mechanics I'm going to play with, and then just start programming them up. And I think as you start doing that and you start kind of building up to your desired game, you will along the way learn the skills that you need to do that well. So that would be my recommendation at Nintendo Master, is just to kind of jump in that way. And I think here, I think I do need to attach the signal. Very cool, yeah. So, you could, that tutorial is probably worth doing, the Godot one, like the build your first 2D game. After that, the issue, I think the biggest issue with like YouTube tutorials is that they cover a very specific problem, and you may or may not encounter that problem along the way. But I would say jump into it if you run into a problem, then go Google how to do that one thing, right? And keep everything very basic. A couple other things I would say is test little pieces of functionality at a time, like build one small function and test it, and then build another small function and test it, and then put them together, because otherwise you can end up in a really nasty spot where you don't know where your problem is because you coded a bunch of things. So that would be kind of my recommendation as well, and I imagine that helps out a lot. It's probably a good way to start. I have a feeling that I do need this function. I'm running into a weird issue now where I am not actually getting my next player, and I'm guessing it's in here. So on error calling active signal to callable. So I have the question here if this should be in the current state, and it probably should. Let's give that a shot, and that should let me essentially wait to transition until I'm in this state. That might give me a second. Yeah, let's give that a shot. What's your 2D game idea, Nintendo Master? I will say making games is a lot of fun. And sometimes it can be challenging, but it's been definitely worth it. I'm pretty new to it, but I'm definitely having a really good time. Okay, yeah, I think that fixed my issue. So what it's allowing me to do now is it's waiting until I'm in that advanced priority state until it takes them off the what I have is ready player, right? It takes them off the priority list, this priority list. So yeah, ultimately that looked pretty good. Hey Thanacon. Yeah, it's going well. It really is. I pretty much finished the attack AI now. So we're halfway through our goal, which is basically a simple enemy AI, basically a simple game. Right now, my enemy has to have just stupid range to be able to target me, but essentially now they will be looking, and every time they have a turn, they check to see if I'm within range. If I am, they'll kill me, which is hard for me, good for them. I want to be able to reduce that to a range of 1, obviously, and see how that goes. And they need to move in order for that to be successful. I did break it again. I have to see what's going on there. Let's see. So ultimately, have come a pretty long way in the last week or so, and we're getting close. There's obviously some bugs and some things to work out, but we'll continue to do that. I am about done for tonight. I'm getting drained out, pretty much reached my useful limit of brain cells. So I think I'm gonna have to call it. But I am interested, Nintendo, in the game you're making. And I think that's a wrap. So yeah, just kind of a recap for what we did today. Today we started with no attack AI. We walked through, we resolved a lot of other bugs while doing so. We kind of modularized some of the priority. So now we can modify how much things cost in terms of priority cost, which is great, makes that a little easier. We uncovered a couple more bugs that we'll have to resolve. And we got to the point where we can win a game and we can lose a game. So I think it was pretty successful. So yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out. Probably gonna start wrapping up. I think I'm gonna do a couple of cleanup things. Gonna look and capture some notes for the next stream, which I'm gonna capture that bug that we just saw, which is essentially when an enemy gets their turn, sometimes a target is not available, so they'll lock up, not attack. I think this one resolves itself. I think this is what the issue is that essentially there's nobody in range. Obviously my character is in range there, but whenever it does the check, I'm guessing it's doing it maybe off frame. So essentially what's happening is, let me look at that state. So essentially it's saying, hey, if you haven't attacked yet, set attack to true. It probably hasn't rerun enter yet when it's swapping between enemies. Well, no, it would have. I think, actually, well, that's the bug. I think that essentially what's happening is it's not getting to this. I'm glad, Journey. Yeah, had a good time. Glad you were able to pick something up from the stream. Always a good time hanging out with you. And so for some reason, it's not getting this. It's not pushing this error, I don't think. I guess I can check that. I'm getting a lot of errors that I need to resolve. So maybe that is a problem. Let's see here. I'm guessing in resolving these errors, I will probably solve my problem. So that's probably going to be what I attack next, and then I'll go back to doing that. So here's my notes. Here's kind of our hit list for next time. Thanks everybody for hanging out, and hope to catch you soon. Thanks everybody. We'll find someone to raid real quick on the Twitch side. Try to find someone in software and game development who's more on the newer side here. Hopefully we can find somebody interesting. And we'll be going in a little bit blind here, so apologize in advance if that's not the case. Let's see. Without music is better. We can look at that. All right, how about Potatoes Game Official? That sounds pretty good. We'll raid them. Everybody say hi. All right. Have a good one.